Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes podcast. Joe Calabro here, and I'm delighted to be joined by Doreen Raftery, the founder of Clockit Golf. You may have seen an article that we did on them earlier this week on GolfNewsRI.com. Doreen, thanks so much for taking a few minutes and hanging out. How you
Great,
doing?
great. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great product. This is Clockit Golf again. Easy way to practice. You don't have to look for your ball everywhere. So let's get into it because I think you have a fascinating story and a story that I think applies to a lot of people coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. But you had a previous career, successful
Yes.
career, catering and running a cafe. Uh, and then COVID hits, like many people across the country and probably the world that have closed their businesses or whatever the case may be, and then pivot. And you pivoted to golf.
Yes.
So just take us through that. What was that whole process like? As again,
Yes.
I think this applies to a lot of people across the country and the world.
Yes.
Uh,
So I started with a catering business. I had a catering business and a cafe. The catering business I had for 20 years, and the cafe I had for almost 7 years. And due to COVID, we had to close the doors. We had to close down. And also my husband was a firefighter for 32 years, and he decided to retire at the same time. So it left us with a lot of time on our hands. So we had to come up with something to do, some sport that required us to be outdoors, 6 feet apart. So of course, like 3 million other people, we decided to take up golf. So we hit the links, and we were not great. We were actually pretty bad at it.
Now, had you played golf prior at
No,
all?
once in a while
Okay.
I would go out, but I never knew what I was doing. And for me, it was just fun to ride in the carts with my friends. So that was about my extent. My extent of golfing. So again, it just required us to be outdoors. So that's what we did. So I was not good at all. And I knew that I needed help. I knew that I needed some type of a practice device to help me with this. So I went online and I researched, and there was nothing really that worked for me personally. So, and one of the important things is anything that I found didn't have a real golf ball, and I wanted to feel the weight of a real golf
Right.
ball. So
Plastic balls only get you so far.
exactly. Yes, and it's the weight that really matters. So my original prototype was a pair of ladies' nylons that I put a golf ball in, and I got a spike and I put it in my backyard, and I would use that to hit it because I needed something that it would help me to keep my head down, to focus. And when what I was doing on when I would get up to the tee is I was missing the ball altogether. So, which tells you a lot about my game. So anyway, so I started using this all the time, and it worked, and it was great because I started hitting the ball. I started practicing my swing and even my stance, everything. So it was great. So anyway, I went on to perfecting it. I ran around to a bunch of machine shops, marine shops, and I got rope. I ended up with a marine rope that was sturdy. I tried climbing rope. I tried all kinds of ropes, but I used the marine rope, and that really worked the best. And the spike, we used different spikes, but we needed one that was circular, that would go into the ground. Once you hit it, it would actually stay in the ground. So, and we got a real golf ball, and we were drilling all kinds of real golf balls to tie them. We tried all sorts. And the final iteration was Clockit Golf that you see today.
So you guys have been in business for a little over 3 years?
We actually hit the market in January, this past January.
Oh, okay.
So we're actually very new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took us a while. We worked with a company when I finally came up with the product that I was happy with, the end product. We reached out to a company, and they were very good about their name is 52 Launch, and they were very good about connecting us with someone in China. So they did all the production and and they yeah, so it was great. So they helped our process along, which was great.
So now you distribute all over the country on Amazon through their website.
Yes.
What has been the reaction, or was there a moment when you said, okay, holy shit, this is gonna work? Was there like
Yes,
a
well,
holy shit moment?
Yes, it was. Funny enough, it was when one of the prototypes, and we had it in the yard, and a lot of people commented on it, and a lot of people started using it and really liked it. And actually, we gave one of the originals to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and they put it in their yard. So that was almost 2 years ago. And it's great because the ground, it's been in there for so long that the ground has tightened around it. So it's almost like cement now in there, and it's permanently there, and they use it and their kids use it. Everyone uses it all the time. So that was really the aha moment, when other people seemed to like it even more than I did. And they seemed to be benefiting from it. So it was great.
Yeah, I think that's even for us, and obviously we're two completely different entities, but even for us, like, I get people all the time saying, oh, we love your site. We get, the high school coaches and kids all follow us, and they love it. I'm like, these people actually love it more than me. Yeah. And that's not to say I don't love doing it. Obviously I do, but it's just like one of those things that people appreciate it more than you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes, I know. And sometimes you see a product a certain way, and then other people bring new ideas to it. Today, we actually met with a golf pro, and he was telling us different ways that I didn't even think to use Clockit Golf. And he was showing us different little tips that he uses with his students and it teaches them if they slice the ball, and it's different little techniques to use, and it will help them to, prevent them from slicing the ball. Which is great. So it's kind of nice when you get someone else's view on your product, because it just opens your mind up to different
And they
things.
give you different ideas that you can use it, how you can use it, or
Absolutely.
now can you putt with a Clockit Golf?
That
could be your next
I know.
invention.
Well, actually, we do have another invention coming out. It was just patented.
All right.
Yes. And it's for indoor use, we'll say. But I will let you know in the future when we finally have it all together and everything tweaked.
There, that's what we call a tease in the business. So new invention coming soon from Clockit Golf.
Yes.
Talk about this. I think this part of it is interesting, and maybe can inspire others or other women. Obviously, Clockit Golf, woman-owned business.
Yes.
It's a big deal, I think, especially in golf, where most businesses are owned by men, generally
yes.
speaking. I'm not saying that there's obviously other women-owned business. I get it, but talk about that part of it for
Yes.
you. I mean, how big of a deal is
Well,
that?
let's say first we'll say I'm a huge fan of women-owned business, because I realized, being through it many times now, because I started, like I said, with a catering business, a cafe, and it's not easy. It really is not easy for a woman. It's not as easy as people think. It's difficult to start a business, period. But then as a woman, I find that you just have to put that much more effort into it. And I do have to say, though, it's been great. People are very, very open to helping, always. Man, woman, doesn't matter. And I feel as though one of the big things, especially as a woman, you can't be afraid to ask. And so that is one thing that I have not been afraid to do. So I will always ask people for help, for their knowledge. And you can't think that you're the smartest person in the room at any point. You have to know that everyone comes to the room with all kinds of knowledge that you don't have. So that has been, that's been great. And I love getting, I love getting people's tips on what they have done, things that you would never, especially marketing, because marketing's not my background. So
we were talking off the air about social media
Well,
You had to learn how to do all that. But
yes, and especially with social media, there's a lot to learn, and a lot of times my young nieces are amazing at taking the time to. My young niece Megan just showed me how to use TikTok. So
mhm,
it's, it's great. People, again, you have to be open to people, people's ideas and
mhm. What do you think to this point anyway, but what's been the biggest challenge for you guys or for Clockit Golf in
you
general? What are the challenges have been?
getting the word out there. That has been just, again, because we're not marketing people. So you have to develop a marketing brain. So that has been very tricky, but it has not stopped us. I mean, I have emailed 1 million people. I have reached out to them in all kind on LinkedIn, Instagram. I have actually gone to physically gone to golf courses and spoken with the pros there. So it's been difficult to get the word out there. I just thought that it would be a lot easier, but it's not. But that's all right, because I get to meet great people along the way.
Yeah, and it's funny, you emailed me, and your email went to my spam folder. And I was
Yes.
like, is this a real person? Because it
Yes,
goes to spam folder. I assume that goes to spam for a reason.
yes, yes.
So I did I looked at the website, and obviously you're a real person. So and it was funny, we were both at the Cape Cod Golf Guys pilgrimage a few months ago, or whatever that was. So it was kind of funny how
Yes,
it kind of all comes back around.
yes, which was a great golf tournament because we got to interact with other entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and I think that's one, and we talked about this on the phone the other day. I think that's one of the things that's been most uh inspiring, eye-opening for me, and I know for you too, is that how many other people are also trying to do like their own thing in golf, in all different aspects of golf. You have pinned range finders, you have you guys, you have Greenside Golf, who's making golf push carts and stuff, and he just sold the company actually a couple of months ago or whatever. But all these different people, Cape Cod Golf Guys themselves do a tremendous amount of content and merchandise. And I think that's been one of the things that's been most inspiring and eye-opening to me, because I had no idea. I thought I was just starting like a golf media company, and we're gonna write about golf and blah 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 and go on. But then I had no idea that there's all these other like businesses that are the other people that are close to my age, or relatively close to my age, or older, whatever, but they're just trying to do their own things, and we're all at different stages of our business. And that's been one of the most fascinating things that I had no idea about when I first launched this. I never paid attention to any of these businesses because I just play golf for fun, but now I pay attention to all of them. So I know that's the same, similar for you, but I don't think anybody has any idea of how many other small businesses are people trying to do their own thing.
Trying to do their own thing. Absolutely. It's yes, there are people, and I always think of people when they start up, a lot of times they're quick to give up, which you think, no, you can't do that. Like,
Right.
Keep going. Everyone, I guess when they run into roadblock after roadblock, they want to give up, but you can't. It's, I think a roadblock is put there so that you work just a little bit harder.
Right. I think, like I said, people get quickly to give up, especially in this day and age when you have the millennial era where everybody wants success, and they want it now.
Yes,
And that's just not how the world works. You have to build a brand, you have to build a following. It takes time. You have to
yes.
crack through the old school of golf, the way golf is, and for us golf media is. So but yeah, it's just been an amazing experience. And I never looked at myself as an entrepreneur. I just look at myself as a sports writer.
And doing something that you
Right.
love.
So I don't really think of myself as that, but obviously
Yes.
technically I guess I am. You started this during COVID. You had a great quote. I actually didn't use it in the article, but I did put it on social media. You had a great quote for people that are going through a similar situation, or maybe went through a similar situation, but for all I know, people are probably still going through tough situations with COVID and
Yes,
switching jobs. You, like I said, you had a completely different career in catering and food business, and then you pivoted to golf, which again, two completely different ends of the spectrum. It's not even close. what would you say to people that are looking to try to do something new or need a little bit of a kind of a kick in the ass?
Oh, yes.
And what do you say? 'Cause you've done it. You literally went through it.
Yes.
What would you say to
If
people that are
it's,
in a similar situation?
again, I mean, you have to be, open-minded, but you also do it. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? So, and I completely understand, in terms of money, people, but you can always have a side gig and, just to
Mhm.
pay the bills and get through all that. But especially if it's something that you have a passion for, do it. Don't let anyone hold you back, and definitely do not let anyone tell you that you can't do it. That makes me crazy when people come in and they're the naysayer. I always think, and it has always, I feel as though when people say that to me, it makes me work so much harder because you just want to prove them wrong.
Absolutely. All right, a couple more things. We'll get you out of here. Then you got more Clockit golf products to sell.
Yes.
Uh, 10 years from now, where do you see Clockit golf?
Oh, I see it
Hopefully
with,
sold for millions and millions and millions.
no, the money isn't all about, we're not all about the money. No, it's more of, I hopefully in 10 years from now, we'll have many products on the market. And I really want to be able to maybe even, I don't know, come up with a plan for other people that are just starting out to kind of help them, get to the point where we'll be in 10 years, successful.
Have you ever taken your Clockit golf to a golf course and just put it down on the first tee and
Yes.
took practice swings with
Yeah.
it and then put the ball down and actually hit?
Yes, and we, just on Wednesday night, I was at, the South Shore Country Club, and they were so kind. I set up my table, I set up my Clockit golf right at the first tee, and I was welcoming people to come over and warm up before they took their first shot. And it was great. People were, people were very excited to try it out, which was nice. Chris Riley and Mike Libby are so kind. They told me that whatever I needed, if I wanted to set up there, and that's what I did. And there was, a league going on, and they loved it. So hopefully I'll be returning there again, and hopefully other golf courses will invite me to come and stand on their first tee for people to warm up and get used to, Clockit golf.
That's awesome. Well, Doreen, thank you so much for taking the time. You can catch
Thank you.
Clockit Golf, clockitgolf.com.
Yes,
Clockitgolf.com. And you can order their product via their website, on Amazon, and wherever else golf products are sold, hopefully in
Yeah.
stores pretty soon, maybe. Yeah, so check out Clockit Golf, clockitgolf.com. And Doreen, thanks again for taking a
Yeah.
few minutes to chat with me today.
Yes, thanks so much for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. And please do check out Clockit Golf. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.